Something has just happened that could spell major trouble for the UK economy and for Chancellor Rachel Reeves. On Friday, a shocking new report was released, and the figures are worse than anyone expected. The UK economy is showing signs of serious strain, and the government's promises to kickstart growth are now under intense scrutiny. With businesses losing confidence, the pound taking a hit, and recession fears creeping in, this latest development is set to cause a major political and economic storm. So, what exactly has been revealed? And how bad could this get for Rachel Reeves? Stay tuned as we break it all down, but first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Just a quick one to say we have new Liber t-shirts available on our website. You can check the link in the description or go to BritishStand.com. The UK economy has suffered a shock contraction of 0.1% in January 2025, dealing a major blow to Chancellor Rachel Reeves and her economic strategy. This downturn, confirmed by the Office for National Statistics, ONS, has sparked fresh concerns that Britain could be heading towards recession. What makes this even more damaging is that City economists had actually predicted growth of 0.1%, making this decline a nasty surprise for the government. So what's driving this economic slump, and how will Reeves respond? Let's break it down. According to the ONS, the contraction was driven by a weak performance in manufacturing, construction, and oil and gas extraction. While some areas of the economy, like retail, showed resilience, particularly food stores, as more people chose to eat at home, it wasn't enough to offset the broader decline. Speaking about the data, Liz McKeown, the ONS's Director of Economic Statistics, described the overall picture as one of weak growth. She pointed to manufacturing slowing significantly alongside poor performance in key industries like energy production and construction. The economy is now edged dangerously close to recession territory, which is officially defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. Over the 3 months leading to January, GDP did manage to grow by 0.2%, but that fragile progress is now at risk. And the markets reacted quickly to the news. The value of the pound fell, with sterling dropping 0.1% against both the dollar and the euro. Jochen Stanzel, chief market analyst at CMC Markets, didn't hold back in his reaction, calling the figures a complete disappointment across the board. He also warned that this could put further pressure on the Bank of England to cut interest rates sooner than expected. So, where does this leave Rachel Reeves? The Chancellor has repeatedly promised to kickstart the economy using policies outlined in her autumn budget and upcoming spring statement. But so far, the reaction from business leaders has been far from supportive. Many have criticised her decision to raise national insurance employer contributions alongside a hike in the minimum wage. The government argues that these measures are essential to funding public services and raising living standards, but businesses warn they could stifle investment and slow job creation. Last month, Reeves also backed the expansion of Heathrow Airport, insisting it would boost economic growth. However, critics argue that one infrastructure project isn't enough to offset the broader economic challenges. With the spring statement fast approaching, the pressure is mounting on Reeves to restore confidence and prevent the UK from slipping into recession. Her response? A bold defense of her policies. In reaction to the GDP figures, Reeves insisted, "The world has changed, and across the globe, we are feeling the consequences. That's why we are going further and faster to protect our country, reform our public services, and kickstart economic growth." She also pointed to plans for the biggest sustained increase in defense spending since the Cold War, and vowed to get Britain building again. But is this enough? Economists, including Hayley Lowe from the National Institute of Economic and Social Research, remain skeptical. She warned that the UK's economic outlook is still fragile, and that frequent policy U-turns risk undermining business and investor confidence at a time when clarity and consistency are most needed. So where does this leave us? The UK economy has shrunk when experts expected growth. The business sector is losing confidence in Reeves's tax policies. The pound has taken a hit, and markets are expecting pressure on the Bank of England. And now, recession fears are creeping back in. The big question now is whether Reeves can turn things around, or whether this latest economic shock is just the beginning of a much bigger crisis. We'll keep watching this story as it develops. What do you think? Can the UK avoid recession, or is it already too late? Let us know in the comments. In more news, police have launched a double probe in the capital after a teenage girl and a young woman were subjected to alleged sexual assaults on the London Underground. British Transport Police, BTP, released a series of images on Thursday of two men wanted in connection with the incidents, which took place on opposite sides of the city. The first relates to an allegation of sexual assault at Arnos Grove tube station, on the northern edge of London, on the Piccadilly line. A BTP statement reads, "Shortly before 6:30 p.m. on Friday, January 31st, a young woman was using the ticket barriers when she was approached by a man from behind who sexually assaulted her. Officers believe the man in the image may have information that could help their investigation. Anyone who recognizes him or has any other information is asked to contact British Transport Police by texting 61016 or by calling 0800 40 50 40, quoting reference 587 of January 31st. The second came fewer than 3 weeks later on a Northern Line tube train in South London. BTP said, detectives investigating a sexual assault on board a Northern Line service between Stockwell and South Wimbledon are today releasing these images in connection. At around 11:15 p.m. on Wednesday, February 19th, a man made sexual remarks to a teenage girl before sitting next to her and sexually assaulting her. Other passengers intervened and the man left the service at South Wimbledon. Officers believe the man in the CCTV images may have information that could help their investigation. Anyone who recognizes the man in the CCTV or has any other information is asked to contact British Transport Police by texting 61016 or by calling 0800 40 50 40, quoting reference 20 of February 19. The CCTV. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.